Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 130 of Explode Your Expert Biz show brought to you by GTeX.org.uk. I'm your host, the one and only Simone Vincenzi, the Experts Strategist, and this is the podcast for experts who want to become the ultimate authority in their niche while making an impact in the world. Today is an incredible interview with the one and only B.D. Dalton, and we're going to talk about how to take vacations monthly. Lazy overachiever secrets. Now, for those of you that don't know B.D. Dalton, he is a self-proclaimed guru, a guide, a gladiator for business owners, self-proclaimed lazy overachiever. B.D. Dalton is a CEO of a law firm, deal maker, a financial advisor, and also Mr.True Gravity. Now, this has been one of the most hilarious interviews that I've ever recorded, and on top of that, the golden nuggets that he shares about how he built his businesses are insane. So you want to make sure you stay until the end of this episode. In fact, we are going to talk about first of all, why networking sucks and how to network in the right way. Also, we are going to talk about how to become a lazy overachiever, and had a very interesting conversation about the fact of becoming a lazy overachiever, and also how he was able to build multiple successful businesses. So then you can learn from him what he's doing right now behind the scene, which is all we want to know by listening to this show. You can read the full transcript of the interview and get all the bonus resources on our website, which is www.gtex.org/episode 130. And also, if you haven't yet downloaded our Selling from the Stage checklist and you're running seminars, you're a speaker, you want to convert from maybe live events or online workshops, then you must, I say you must, download right now the Ultimate Selling from the Stage checklist, which is the most comprehensive checklist that will help you create a pitch that sells without being sleazy and manipulative. So you can find the link here in the show notes. And if you feel that, growing your expert business is quite lonely, isolating, and you want to connect with all the guests that we have on our show, and a community with more than 1,600 experts worldwide, then join our Facebook group, Explode Your Expert Biz. You can find it on Facebook at Explode Your Expert Biz, or just click on the link in the show notes. Now, without further ado, it's time to start the music. One more thing. Hey. Yeah. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, click that subscribe button right now. Okay, so now we can move forward and listen to the interview with B.D. Dalton. Take vacations monthly. Lazy overachiever secrets. Enjoy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Explode Your Expert Biz show. Today, I'm here with the one and the only B.D. Dalton. How you doing today?
Doing great. How are you, man?
Incredibly well. Thank you very much. Now, quick question before we start. You call yourself a lazy overachiever. What the heck is this about?
Nobody likes to be called lazy. You don't like to be called lazy, do you?
No, I'm a hardworking. I'm a hustler.
Everybody wants to be hardworking. Everybody says, "Oh, I'm hardworking. I do this." Let me tell you this: if I could tell you a way that you could make as much money this year as you did last year, and you'd have to work half as much, would you want to do that?
Sign me up.
See, that's laziness. Because you should want to work as hard as you're working today to do the same thing next year. You should just want to work harder and harder and harder and earn the same money, right? No. I'm lazy. I want to figure out the best way, the easiest way, the right way to deal with people, to deal with business, and be very, very lazy by using my time like I want to, so I can just kick back, play some hoops, whatever you want to do, but have some fun with it. And that's why I call myself a lazy overachiever.
I like that. I want to be your friend. I already want to be your friend. So Now, before we go into talking about the topic of the day, which is networking sucks, which is
Yeah.
an interesting topic because everyone says to build a business you need to go networking. That's what everyone says. But you say networking sucks. I'm really curious about that. But before we go into talking about networking, how did you become a lazy overachiever? What's your story?
Well, I was never really lazy. I just like to get to the point where I can be lazy. But so I built a business in the States, a financial advice business in the States, door knocking. So I knocked on doors to get clients. I made a business over there that has about 50 million pounds under management or $50 million under management, and got all my clients through door knocking and then referrals. And then I moved over to the UK in 2002, did the same thing here. And I'm American. I mean, you're not originally from England, and I'm not originally from England. And going out and knocking on somebody's door and asking them for money, how easy was that? That was not easy.
You know
it was
what?
not easy at all.
You know
Yeah.
what? For a period of my life, I worked as a fundraiser door to door for charities. So knocking doors, knocking 200, 250 doors a day to talk to four people. Man,
It's soul destroying. You feel. I mean, Harry Potter and the Dementors had nothing on you. It's like, but I was asking people. You were asking people for a £5 donation. I was asking them to let me tell them about their life story and their retirement plans and all this stuff. And I'm a foreigner, so they didn't know if I was going to take all their money home, or they didn't know anything about me. So I had to do that.
Yeah.
Built that business here in the UK. Did that. I still have that business. It still goes strong. I don't have to work in it that much. I've got the consulting business, and I'm a CEO of a law firm that only does mergers and acquisitions. But it all bases itself around, and I talk about networking sucks. I think it's really bad, and the reason why networking sucks is so many people want to screw you. They want to take, not everybody, but there's so many people out there that want to be lazy in a bad way and just take stuff off of you and run. They want to take your ideas and take your clients and take this stuff and go away. And that really kind of motivated me to sit back and become the protector of the energetic entrepreneur. That's really my thing, and that's what the lazy overachiever is. Let me teach you how to be lazy so you can protect yourself from people taking stuff from you so you can explode your business.
I really like the concept. I still have a couple of questions before we move into networking. I want to know what has been, because building multiple businesses is not easy. It's not easy. And what I want to know, what has been your darkest business moment? The moment where you said, oh my God, either I want to give up, kill myself, eat a bag of chocolate, whatever it's going to be. What was your worst business moment?
My worst business moment. So in 2000, I was partner in the firm that came over here from the States. 2009, global financial crisis, everything went AWOL. The firm went back to the States. They left us here. The new firm that took over was chasing us, trying to sue us. In the exact same time, so I was trying to build a new business. They were keeping all of our income. My dad was in the hospital with E. coli here in the UK. My dad's American. He's here in the UK. And my best friend and secretary was dying of cancer in the same hospital. That was my darkest moment, I think. Just family, business,
everything
no money.
That could collapse at the same time.
The only thing that I had was my own health and my wife and kids' health, but my dad's still alive and everything else, but it was just, that was one of those where you're just questioning.
How did you cope with that?
I made it through, but I don't feel like I did it very well at that point in time, and that's why I try to protect people as much as I can. I can't protect it from a family member going down, but it's getting people excited and refocused. My big thing is energy, time, and focus. If you can take the energy that you have, because you're an energetic person, and get that focus, and I really think that's where my ideas came from, is I only had so much energy. If in that day I only had one light bulb worth of energy, I needed to point it towards something that was going to make something happen that day, whether it was me feeling good or landing a new client, or I only had half an hour worth of energy. So I needed to turn it on like a high beam light and then I was done, because that's all I had in the day, and then just go home and sleep, because you're just it is just very, very difficult.
I can imagine. I was actually having a conversation with a client recently, and she's going through a very tough time. She's having a lawsuit, and things are not working out with her business at the same time. She had a great month, and now she's having a downtime in their business, and she's moving as well, and all these things going on. And I think that's a part of the business journey. I don't know. I had my downtimes too, and I just realized that it's just part of the game. And when you have these moments, you do what you can.
And
Just do what
if it was easy, everybody would do it, man.
Absolutely,
If it was easy,
absolutely.
everybody would do it.
Okay, but
It's
tell me your
crazy.
best moment now. Tell me your best moment. The moment where you said, think about your business journey. What has been the moment that you said, "Oh my God, I made it. This is the highlight of my business career."
I think it's still to come, but I think the one that we've gotten to is I had a client, millionaire client. And she called me up and she said, BD, Maytag or Whirlpool? You know, I'm a financial advisor, so I was thinking, so you want some investment advice? You want some investment advice, okay? So I said, Maytag's owned by General Electric, so General Electric's a decent stock, and Whirlpool, they're owned, but I wouldn't buy those. She goes, no, I trust you so much. I want you to tell me what type of dishwasher to buy. So I had gotten to the point where I became a trusted advisor. It's that trusted advisor. She was coming to me because I know so much about everything that I could tell her which dishwasher to buy. I've had great client meetings and I've had all this stuff, but you just feel like crap. She trusts me so much that she'd call me instead of calling her kids to get advice on getting a dishwasher. That's cool. That means I've made it. That's not
Yeah,
my biggest
yeah,
land money,
yeah.
but it's you're a trusted advisor
When this happens. In fact, I love
correct.
asking this question because everyone has a different answer. Some people will identify in terms of financial terms. Other people, maybe something small that happened that made the entire moment for them. I remember for me was when I actually got paid my first £300 as a consultant. I was
Awesome.
£300 for 6 months of work. Right? So
Woo!
right now, I'm like, were you crazy? In that moment was my first time I got ever paid to do my consulting work. I was willing to do anything. And I remember I was there in the kitchen. If I could, I was going to do backflips right there. But now let's talk about networking. Now, networking sucks.
Yep.
Networking sucks. Why networking sucks? So you mentioned that already. You have people that want to steal your energy and clients and all the things that you've built. Tell me more about that.
So tell me. So you asked me a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you go into a room and people, you're very prolific on Facebook and LinkedIn and everything else. When people know who you are, do they run over to you and want to give you their business card and ask you what you can do for them and what are you doing next and things like that?
Not much.
No, really? Don't know who
Sometimes.
you are. Oh, okay.
Sometimes, if they know who I am, yes. Okay, no. If they know who
Okay.
I am, yes. They are happy. They come in and they say, "Oh, Simone, I've seen you. I see you on Facebook. I follow you all the time," and that's one thing. If they don't
So,
meet,
and you
if
get
I
those
know them,
people
yeah,
chasing you get people they come up to you and they want to be fanboys, but they're not really fanboys. They're just leeches. I call them black holes or people that take
yeah.
things off
There are
of you,
many of
right?
them. There are many of them. Yeah, there are
And there's
many of
lots
them.
of them. So you go out and in Birmingham, where we live here, is the same people go to almost all the same networking things, and they only have the same amount of clients, and they all go to all the three letter networking events, and they go to all those things, and you're just like, oh. And so they want to stand up and they have to force a piece of paper on you, or they come up to you and they say, oh, I'm BD Dalton, and Simone, here's my card. And it's like, oh, I don't even know I don't even know if I like you yet. And they just come up and they
Yeah.
just throw. So networking sucks. And then the caveat on that is, as we're currently doing it,
Mm.
because the real thing comes, and you'd have this with some of your groups and the things that you do, is that networking comes if you can systematically look at how you interact with people, just like a sales funnel. Everybody has, you guys teach sales funnels and marketing
Hmm.
funnels.
Yep.
You have to have a networking funnel. You have to have a networking plan and a networking budget for your time and your money. And those two things are a necessity.
I like that.
Because in 2010, when I came out, I could give you a list of paper, long list of paper of all the people that I had helped find jobs, help their parents move house without earning a penny, help them find jobs and clients and all these different things. And when I came out in my darkest hour and said, I need your help, silence. It was literally, I'd like to help you, but it's the global financial crisis and we're really busy right now. It's like, well, I wasn't busy when I gave you help. It's like, so I had to sit back and say, I've given all these people my energy, my time, my focus. How do I get it back? How do I measure that? So I had to come up with a system that measured up how I was interacting with people and how much time I spent away from my family, away from the things I like to do. So you like basketball, I play water polo and golf and do some other things. So I'm time away from that to go spend it with a bunch of people that just want to take my business. Nah. So then it just became small focus groups of networking. It became captain's table style stuff. It became really methodical ways of networking so that I got the right people in the room that I could impact their life and they could impact my life. And then we can go out and spread the love around from there. So networking sucks the way most people do it.
So now what is then, because I can resonate with this very much. I used to go to many networking events years ago. And then for literally the past 3.5 years, stopped networking completely. I'm like, I have a different way to get clients, and I found that doubling down on creating events for me was the best thing. But recently was just literally 2 months ago, I'm back on the networking scene with a very specific objective. So I like what you shared about having a very specific objective. So what's then the best way, from your experience, to network? To what are you looking for personally when you're going to a networking event? What makes you say that's the place where I should spend my time, my money, my effort, my energy, so I can actually get something?
So the first book I wrote was called True Gravity. It was all about the process that I went through to build the strategy around that. And first of all, it's like you talk about with your clients, you build your story. Then you find three people, your three primary planets that want to share in that story, and they'll want to be built around yours. So you're your business coach and help people turn around. And I've got a law firm here that helps people sell their business and go through partner strategies and things like that. You have an accountant. So you build your power team, but the story has to be similar and a similar niche client. So then once you've done that, then you spread your story and you become the go-to boys at a networking event or girls or team. And so you're the ones that go together and go out hunt in packs and bring in the story and create the momentum. And everybody else wants to come be with you guys. It's like, who's Simone talking to? Oh, that's B.D. Dalton. Oh, who's B.D. Dalton talking to? That's Simone. Okay, well, what do? They help people turn their businesses around and skyrocket them and do all this stuff. Well, somebody introduce me to them. That's that magnetism that I call it true gravity. Is you create this inertia and you create the story, you create everything else that's happening there, but it takes time. As much time as you would put into the three letters, you could spend finding 3 or 4 people. And the thing that British people don't do as well is they don't break up very well, because you're going to move on from your primary planets probably 3 or 4 times in your business existence. Because when you were happy about your 300 quid, there's somebody else out there that was happy with their 300 quid. But then when you wanted to move to 300 quid an hour, they might have been happy still getting 300 quid. So you've now moved from a Toyota lifestyle to a Mercedes lifestyle, and they're happy at Toyota, which is nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You just evolve. And so they're either going to love on you or hate on you. And so then you move on. And then guess what? You get to your Mercedes level. And then guess what? You want to move up to Bentleys, or you want to move up to private jet, whatever it is. And each of those vehicles have a different lifestyle around them and a different group of friends. And the only way you can get to that is, if you're a Bentley friend right now and you want to be a private jet friend, you got to find a private jet friend and start building a story around a private jet friend. So it's spending that time concentrated on people, and you're going to kiss some frogs, but when you make it through, man, it just rocks and it resonates, and people want to be around you, and it's fun, and you can kill it.
So do you go to networking events? So do you find networking events, or do you have other ways of networking, like kind of a collateral networking?
I go to networking events.
Right.
But I go to networking events that have a client list that I want to meet one person or two people. And I take my friends with me. Because if we can do that hunting and pack, then those people that I want to talk to, we're either going to go hunting for them or they're going to find us because we're cool.
I like that. I like that. That's something I've never done. Never.
Really?
No, not in packs. Like, or maybe I've done it, but I cannot. Not consciously.
No, if you haven't done it consciously, you haven't done it, because
Right.
there's a game that you play. I've got games in the book that talk about how to play the game and have fun with it.
Yeah.
So you could be the go-to guy. So everybody else introduces everybody else. So I introduce, this is Simone. Simone is amazing. He can do this with your business. He can help you do this, and he can help you fill all your speaking engagements. And then Simone goes, and this is B.D. And you know what? He knows how to put the systems in place to do this, this, and this. And then you say, and this is Bill over here, and Bill does this. This person's going, you guys know each other so well. Holy crud. And you go, but that's okay. We all really just love Simone. And so then he goes back, why Simone? And then they go, everybody just pitch on you until that guy's off from you.
I like it. So tell again, say again the name of the book. I'm gonna make sure we put in the show notes, because I'm sure that our listeners are like, okay, what's the name of the book? What's the name of the book? I want to buy it right now.
It's called True Gravity. True like gravity.
Perfect.
It's all of, yeah. It's got a lot longer title than that, but B.D. Dalton and True Gravity, Amazon, you'll get it. And Jeff Bezos will make more money than me. So, and the web, you can get it from the website, and I'll send you a signed copy. It's Jeff for every
anything not to give money to Jeff.
Yeah, I love Jeff. He's a good billboard for us, but Jesus. So I tell you, 15 quid, I make 3. That's a winning bet. That's slave labor is what that is. Jesus.
All right.
Okay,
so we make
sorry.
sure, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the link in the show notes of not the Amazon link, but your website link. So then people can get a signed copy.
That's right.
You're going to pay anyway. You're going to pay the same price anyway. So make sure you get the signed copy, and also...
I think it's cheaper on the website because I actually make money. I think it's cheaper than Amazon.
Website. So BD is going to make some money. He's going to take me out for lunch. Here we go.
Woo!
Let's take that. Okay.
As long as you like McDonald's, but you're a vegan, so what are we gonna do?
Veggie burger.
Yes. Veggie burger, baby. Rock and roll.
Now, let's move on and transition into lifting the veil. So we talked about networking, why networking sucks, and actually how to do it the right way. And now it's time to lift the veil. It's time to lift the veil in something that you're doing in your own business. Can be sales, can be something that you're doing marketing, can be something that you're doing on operation, maybe a tool that you use that actually makes the difference. This is the holy grail that you have found.
Okay, the holy grail. So things that I do that can make it so that you are productive and feel better.
Go for it.
So if you look at it overall, for me, it's measuring things. Everything needs to be measured. So if you're going to do your water intake, needs to be measured. Everything needs to be measured. And people don't measure their networking. They don't measure their networking. They have too many friends around them that say everything's okay. You need to find some people around you that are truthful with you about your marketing. Not negative, just if they're going to give me a negative, I need them to point me in a positive direction. So you could say, you know what, that thing, that marketing piece sucked, but if you did it this way, I think more people would buy. That it's you got to find some no people, not just yes people. And I hate that. It feels really bad because I had one of my coaches yesterday sent me, because I have 3 different coaches. I have a business coach, a personal coach, and a speaking coach. So Tiger Woods has 5 coaches. Why can't I pretend like I'm Tiger Woods and have a couple coaches?
You play golf?
I hit the ball. I have a golf membership, and I hit the ball not very well. My golf partner would cuss my name. I think BD is a cuss word in his. BD. That's what he says. Why'd you do that? But and I come back to one of my blog posts, and one of the things that I sent there originally to get on your amazing show was take a vacation monthly.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and I'd say take a vacation monthly. It can actually be weekly, because let me ask you this, Simone. When is the time when you're most productive in your business?
When I'm relaxed.
Relaxed. And when are you most relaxed?
When I'm most relaxed. When I'm on vacation, that's definitely one of the places.
Mm-hmm.
And after a good basketball session.
That's good. And so when people go on holiday, when people go on vacation, usually they're doing all the work that they should have done up until that vacation point, right?
Yep.
So you're very busy. So, oh my God, I got to make all the phone calls, get all the appointments scheduled, and da, 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 da. So you're banging away on the phones, you're making all the phone calls, you're making sure the invoices are in, people are billed, you're ready to go. Then you go on holiday, right? Relax. And then what happens? The last day of holiday, oh my God, I got to come back here and I got to do this, and this. So guess what? If you took a vacation every week, imagine how cool Thursday would be, because you'd get everything done. And you could have Friday off because you'd get everything done. And then you go off for the holiday. You go on the 3-day weekend every week. You come back on Monday and you could bang away again. Because you're like, oh, 3 days off. I better work again. So you have these two catalyst days that just bang through your week.
I like that. You know what is happening right now, because I'm going to be away almost all the month of May. And going with my wife, we're having a cruise around the Caribbean for our 1-year anniversary.
Woo!
And we decided that we are not going to get the internet package on the cruise. One, because I don't want to pay 20 quid a day for internet, because I think it's very stupid. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It's very stupid.
Yes.
And secondly, we really want to switch off and just enjoy our time and forget about the world. And that's why right now I'm like, okay, yeah, I got all these things I gotta make happen. Book all my speaking gigs for June, July, and September, and so on. So I agree with you. It just gives you this sense of focus. And you know what? I'm gonna test this out. I'm gonna.
You do.
Test this out.
I'll bet you'll make 20% more money. I know you're a rich man and you make Bentley money, but I'll bet you'll make Bentley plus money.
I'm gonna test this. I'm gonna test this out, because do
the challenge and send it out to your listeners. Try to take try to take Friday off every week, and see where it goes.
Because one of the things that I have personally, I'm a workaholic. Like I love work. I never stop. And if there is another opportunity, I always take that opportunity. I always say yes, yes, yes. And that's something that one of my downside, of my shortcomings, which I'm aware of. But my wife, she gets so annoyed. Because sometimes it can happen that I promise to spend a day with her, and then someone invites me for an event, to speak at an event, and I'm saying, oh, well, can I go and speak at the event? And after a while, she gets really annoyed. And that's something that I personally have to look at myself. Where am I saying yes to and where I'm saying no to?
Yep.
So I think that applying this philosophy in life, you learn and grow. I'm going to give it a go.
You should. It's a great thing. It's an amazing thing. It's lots of fun. And it's actually, you start to think about, that's how you reward yourself. So I'm going to work my butt off on Thursday or whatever that day is. And Friday's all mine. Switch off the phone, go play hoops, and then take the wife out for dinner. That's the thing. It's got to be, because everybody, and this is, it doesn't matter. You don't have bank accounts in a graveyard, man. So I've had 2,000 clients, and I've had a quarter of those that have died at some point in time in our relationship because of the wealth management, and not one of them on their deathbed has ever said, not one has ever said, I wish I would have worked one more day. They say, I wish I would have spent time with my kids. I wish I wouldn't have been so whatever. I wish I would have learned how to play golf better. Wish I would have learned how to play bridge, or smiled at the guy down the street. They never said, God, I wish I would have worked one more day.
What would you say to someone who says, well, there is all this culture right now of hustling, right? You gotta go there and you gotta hustle. And, someone can look at you and say, well, it's easy said from you. You have already your businesses and you've already made it. You can do it. I can't. What would you say to them?
They're right. If they say that they can't, man, then they're right. It's all about attitude. Everybody's got the same opportunity no matter where you come from, and you just have to ask the right questions to the right people, and you don't have to learn where those people are. You just have to, it's one of my good clients said that you go to school, go to university, not to learn things. You learn how to look things up and deal with people. So whether you do that at university, whether you do that at school, you just need to learn how to find information, because information is gold. And then you need to learn how to use that with people. Not use people, use that with people. And that's how you do that. So hustling, if people say you can't, then they're right, because they've already defeated themselves. So it's just, yeah, you're probably right. That's what I say. Yeah, I can't do that. You're probably right.
It's a matter of, are you open to it or not? If you say you can't, you're automatically closed. So
Correct.
now I'm curious to know about your schedule. So how do you apply that in your own life? Do you work 4 days a week, or do you work maybe you take a longer holiday? Because I know I've heard about this concept from someone else, and they were working for like 2 months at a time and then taking a month off. How do you apply this to your schedule?
So this year, I will have a week in Madrid, a week in Tuscany, 3 weeks in the States, another week in Spain, and a week and a half in France. And I still have 4 companies.
So do you prefer to have, for example, working a longer week and then taking a longer vacation, or do you work a shorter week and take a longer vacation at the same time? I'm really curious, because some people here, we are really interested in how do you do it your way, because someone else can say, well, I want to test it out.
If I'm going to unplug, I need to go away for a long time. If I'm going to do a little bit of work while I'm away, then I like a short time. So. Right. If I'm gonna on my detox, on my whatever in the States, I'm gonna be with my family. So I wanna unplug as much as I can. So unless I'm in the middle of a deal, I'll turn off the phone for the majority of the day. Maybe check messages once a day. That's it. If it's a week long, I usually stay plugged in. I don't fully relax. My wife hates that. Michelle hates that. But that's just. I got to keep my finger on the pulse, but it's not healthy to have yourself fully engaged all the time, because you literally only have so much energy. No matter how much energy you and I think we have, we still only have so much, and it's hard to. The more we can concentrate that energy, the better off we are.
I completely agree with you. I personally find that for me it's very difficult, for example, to be on holiday or to switch off if I'm working. I have modes. So if I'm working, I'm working. But however, when I'm on holiday, I don't even feel the need to check the phone. That was the weird thing. I thought that, so when I'm on holiday, I don't even want to check my messages. I don't even want to check what's going on. If there is an email, I don't even check my emails. My assistant knows that if there is something which is like live for that situation, then she can contact me. Otherwise, my clients, everyone can wait for that week, the 2 weeks or the 3 weeks that I'm away. As long as, of course, I set up things up front to make sure that everything like comes together. But when I'm on holiday, don't bother me. I'm there to chill. I'm there to relax. I'm there to play my basketball. Like we're going to this cruise, and there is it's the biggest cruise that there is in the Caribbean. It's the biggest ship. And how my wife sold me on that was that there is a basketball court on the cruise. So that's how my wife sold me on that, because otherwise I was like, why we have to spend so much money to go on a cruise? We can go and have like a 2 months holiday with the same money we're spending on that bloody cruise. But she wanted to go there, and there was a basketball court. So suddenly, I found a new priority.
That's
it was very weird.
But it's funny. So Simone, so in the second book, in the Grow, Sell, and Retire, the more you can go on vacation, the more you can go on holiday, the more valuable your business is.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have to be in your business, the value escalates every time, because the systems are in place, the marketing in place, the growth plan's in place, your niche is in place, all the stuff that goes in there is in place. So if you can actually go on holiday and still get paid the same amount of money or more money, then you've got wealth insomnia, where your money never sleeps, man. That's the big thing.
I like the wealth insomnia. I like that. Now, BD, has been an incredible interview. I loved it. An absolute fun. You're great. It's also been great meeting you at the book award, where we actually met in person for the first time. Question for you is: how can people get in touch with you? How can people reach out to you? What do you have for them?
I have a podcast too called Grow, Sell, and Retire. I'd love it if people go there and subscribe. I'm not as cool as you, but I have some fun and some tips. It's only 15 minutes, but it's just talking. You don't even have to stare at my ugly face anymore. But they can go to bartdaltonconsulting.com, and there's podcasts, there's blogs, all sorts of stuff. Some stuff tied in back to you. So there's links and things back and forth, because I just like to. I'm a lazy overachiever, so if I can find cool stuff that you put out there, and I can give a little bit of stuff to my followers and listeners and fans, then it just makes their world easier. They're lazy, and then once they know more about you, then they can go to you. So I just, nobody has the monopoly on best ideas, and you probably got 1,000 business books like I do, and so it's just there's one nugget in each of those books. Some of them might have 5 or 6. But there's only one nugget in most of the books, and each of us have a different one. So if I can pull all those down and make the people around me wealthy, and wealth, on my website you'll see it. It just says wealth equals time, wealth equals family, and it just scrolls through, and it's different for everybody, man. Mm-hmm. And so it's that wealth insomnia. And so if it's spending time with your family, then that's your wealth insomnia. I get to spend all the time with my family. If it's driving Bentleys, it's money, it's wealth is money. So it's easy place is just find it at Bart Dalton Consulting, and you can find everything you want to know and things you didn't want to know about me.
And the things that you didn't want to know. Now, also make sure that you get the book. You mentioned the first one was, repeat again, the first one?
The first one's True Gravity.
True Gravity. And the second one?
Is Grow, Sell, and Retire.
Grow, Sell, Retire. You will have the links of the books from his website, not from Amazon, but straight from his website. So, yeah.
Forget you, Jeff. Yeah.
Nothing personal, Jeff.
No, he's just richer than all of us will ever be. No matter how cool we want to be, he's just richer than us. Forget it. It's okay.
So make sure you get a book and connect with the BD Dalton. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Simone. This is awesome.
It's been a pleasure. I had a blast during this interview. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Now, if you're listening, maybe on iTunes or Spotify or iHeartRadio, wherever you're listening, Google Play, or maybe you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, just make sure that you hit that subscribe button. He's calling you. He's calling you. He's calling you. Hit that subscribe button right now. Perfect. Well done. And also send us a review. Let us know, what did you enjoy the most from this interview with BD Dalton? What was the biggest tip, the biggest nugget that you got from this interview? And we will mention you on our next show. Whoa, ho, ho. All right. If you want to mention, make sure you do that. Thank you very much for listening or watching. Now I'm looking forward to seeing you to the next episode. And remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.